have finished the chart all the way to the top. And we're ready to continue on through the pattern. Okay, so we have finished work 14 rows of the zigzag pattern, working the repeat 14 times per round. Check mark. Break color 1, change to size A circular needles, and knit 1 round in color 2. So my color 1 is the red. So we are done with that. Just gonna leave about, I don't know, 8 inches or so. So I have plenty to weave in the ends, and we're done with the red. And then we have change to size A circular needles and knit 1 round in color 2. I have my smaller needle back. I'm just going to continue with my gray. And just start knitting with my smaller needle again. All the way around. All right, these last two, my other needle fell out, so I kind of had to rescue them. No worries though. Okay, we are on our smaller needle. Look how that's turning out. I'm really happy with that. Okay, so we have knit around in color 2. Continuing in color 2 only, place markers as follows. Knit 14, place marker, and repeat from the asterisk until 15 stitches remain, knit 13, knit 2 together. All right, so getting out our handy dandy markers. This is my beginning of the round marker. I'm going to use different colors for all the other ones so I don't get confused as to where the beginning of the round is. So I have my green one, and I'm knitting 14. Add a marker, 14 more. Then I'm going to continue until I get to the end. Okay, we're at the last section here. It says knit 13 or 12 if you're knitting the smaller size, knit 2 together. Knit 2 together, and we're done with that section. All right, our next instruction is to knit all stitches. I think we can handle that. All right. Knit all stitches, got that. Knit to 2 stitches before marker, knit 2 together, repeat from asterisk. So we know we had all these markers that we set up, and now we know why. We're going to knit to 2 stitches before the marker. Two stitches before the marker, we're going to go into both of them at once and knit them together. We're gonna do this all the way around. Callista, do I do it for the beginning of the round marker, knit 2 together before? Yes, you will do that. And so then we're just gonna go all the way around, and then it says repeat rounds 1 and 2 a total of 13 times, 8 stitches remain. So you can count how many times you've done it. That seems like the hard way to me. I much prefer to just keep going until I have 8 stitches left. We do know that at some point it's going to be too few stitches to go all the way around this needle. So we will either switch to a longer needle to do magic loop, or we will just add another needle and work on 2 needles at once. If you need a refresher on how to do that, you can go back to the bulky hat class where we did that. If we have a one size smaller or larger for the second set of needles, it's not a big deal. I would go ahead and do that if you don't have a second set that are exactly the same size, you won't be able to tell in the final project. So go ahead and do that, and I wouldn't worry about it. So let's go ahead and do that and meet back here. I am doing a voiceover for this section because I was on a Zoom call when I made it. So here is the end. I've gone down to 8 stitches. I'm cutting my yarn and threading it onto a tapestry needle. Then I'm going to thread that tapestry needle through the 8 stitches. I'm going to show you 2 different ways you can do that. You can push them off the needle, the knitting needle, onto the tapestry needle. Just making sure you grab all of those. Or you can go ahead and thread it through while it's still on the cord. The cord is going to be a little thinner than the knitting needle, so it'll be easier to get your tapestry needle through there. I somehow got a second or a 5th stitch there. I think it got wound over twice. And then you can just pull your knitting needle out. This pattern called for you to go through those remaining stitches twice with the tapestry needle and the end of the yarn. So here I am just going through a second time to make sure I've caught all of those stitches and they won't unravel, and to also bury that end in there. I'm going to poke the needle through to the other side and pull the yarn through so that I can weave in the ends on the wrong side. And here I somehow caught that onto a stitch marker I had, so you can see me trying to figure out what I was doing. So I just took it off so that the yarn came off of it, and so I could pull it the rest of the way through. All right, now I am weaving in the ends here. Catching a few stitches on the back, switching direction a couple of times, following that back of the knit stitch pattern, and just gonna snip that. Because we're doing a Colorwork project, there are going to be more ends to weave in than usual. This isn't very many since we're only using 2 colors. There's only going to be this one and then that I'm doing now, and then one more gray one. I must have already woven in the first red one because you'll see me in a minute looking for it. I can't find it, so I must have done it as I went. With Colorwork, especially when you're getting to 3, 4, even more colors, or if you're changing colors and you're going to end up with a lot of ends, I like to go until I have about 10 or so ends and then weave them in, even if the project isn't done yet. That saves me from having to do 100 ends at the end of the project, because it just is not my favorite part of the project. And if I do a little bit all the way along, it's a lot nicer than having to do them all at the end when you just want your project to be done and be able to wear it or give it away or use it however you plan to use it. So here's the last knit stitch, or the last end. Wow, it's been a day. The last end, and we're going to be done. Yeah, looking for the other red end and couldn't find it, so must have already done it. Turning it right side out, and hooray! We are all done, except for washing and blocking. Well done, friends.